Paltrocast.
Whereabouts are you?
Long Island, New York. I know you toured
fantastic.
the U.S. a lot. Have you played on Long Island in recent years?
Not recently. I suppose the last time must have been. Actually, I'm the worst person to ask about timing and years because I haven't got a bloody clue half the time. I think things have only been like a couple of years ago, and people go, "It was 10 years ago," you know. But I think it was actually something like that. Yeah, probably about 10 years ago. Yeah, we did a tour all the way across from west to east, which was in 4 weeks, which was absolutely knackering.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Congratulations on your great new album. How long did it actually take to record it?
Well, we did it in 3 different blocks, which was worked out quite good for us because it meant that we could come back and take another look at it and decide, you know, to change things around or whatever. So I think, well, we went in to do the backing tracks for about a week. Then Jackie went in to do her bits for like a few days, and then we all went back to do the singing and the finishing off and all that. So yeah, 3 lots of weeks. So I suppose a couple of weeks. No, more than that, probably 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, pretty fast.
Got it. So the album title, I know how to pronounce it, but is anyone mispronouncing it where they're going WT45?
Well, of course, you do know what it is meant to be, don't you? But since I don't swear, I can't possibly say. But yeah, it's what the 45. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great title, and it emphasizes that Girlschool has just been this mainstay act. And I really admire that you never gave up, that you faced all this adversity with lineup changes, record label changes, musical trend changes, etc. And you're still Girlschool with a classic sound all these years later. Who or what is it that keeps you going, that told you to never give up?
Well, I think it's a bit of 2 things, really. Stupidity and stubbornness. I think that just about sums it up.
I would also take as an answer that you understood that businesses go up and down and up and down, and you could see the trends. Was there some element of that as well, where you knew that there's going to be great years and bad years, even at the beginning?
Yeah, I think so. But there is that thing as well that if you keep going, you know, if you refuse to go away, you know, they're going to have to take notice of you at some point, aren't they? Whoever they may be.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point in time, let's say Girlschool plays 15 songs live. You literally have had 15 songs that were singles or music videos or classics or covers or something like that. So I'd have to imagine that it's tough to put together a set list these days.
Well, yeah, it is really, because I know for me personally, if I go to see a band, I want to hear all the stuff that I know, like, you know, the old stuff and the, you know, stuff like that. So of course we could never do a gig without doing, say, Emergency or even Race with the Devil or Demolition, or so it's quite tough. But of course it's fun for us now because we've got, you know, a new album, so we'll be able to play a couple of new songs as well, mixing in with all the old. But yeah, it's quite tough to choose ones, you know, out of the. I mean, I can't even remember half of them. The albums we've done. You know, it's just so many, but I still like playing the old stuff as well, you know. So,
and this new record has some great cameos on it. You have Duff from Guns N' Roses, Biff from Saxon, the singer of Alcatraz, etc. Was that something that happened late in the game where you realized that you were going to have some heavy hitters?
Well, it's actually Joe, the guitarist of Alcatraz.
Oh.
It's because we actually wrote that song together, Are You Ready? And of course, he's a phenomenal guitarist. So we just, you know, asked him if he wanted to. That's actually Jackie playing the actual lead break, but he's doing all the other diddly widdly bits on it. So, yeah, so that's because he co-wrote the song anyway. And then, of course, when we decided to record Born to Raise Hell, we just thought, wouldn't it be great to get a couple of people on it, you know? So we've known Phil Campbell, obviously, for decades.
Yeah.
And it was quite good for him to actually play on a song that he played on originally as well. You know, instead of in Motorhead, he used to play, you know, obviously Eddie's bits. So that was a good one for him to play on. And then, of course, we just thought, well, we've known Saxon almost, well, longer now, obviously, than we really knew Motorhead.
Yeah.
because sadly we have no more Motorhead, and what we call our Motorhead, the trio, the threesome. So yeah, we've done so much with them in the past. We thought it'd be great to have Biff singing on it, and of course he said yes, so that was really good. And then a friend of mine, he said, by the way, I know Duff really well, and he's a big Motorhead fan, and he loves Girlschool and everything. Shall I ask him? I'm like, oh yeah, right. I'm saying to him, I say as if, And anyway, he emailed him, and literally next day, Duff got back and said whatever they need. So that was really lovely of him, But it was really funny because he was touring, and he got back and he said, is it okay if I can do it like in a couple of weeks' time, because I'm on tour in Australia and New Zealand? As if we were going to go, no, you have to do it right now,
That's our Duff.
Yeah, I know, it's lovely, really lovely of him, So he just said he'll do it when he gets back, and he did, and so it's brilliant, yeah. Yeah.
Well, when the average person thinks of Girlschool, they usually think of the new wave, or the original new wave of British heavy metal, which I think is very unfair because of how many years that you've been around. You've been a touring festival mainstay, that you've done new music and etc. Plus, you also toured America extensively, even when you were this British band. I'm curious. Were you around Van Halen very much? Because again, everyone loops you in with Saxon and Motorhead, I think more than they should.
Oh, well, the funny thing is that I can remember vividly hearing the very, Van Halen's first album. We were playing, I still remember, we were playing this rock gig in Middlesbrough, of all places up north, when we very, very first started out. And we were sort of doing the sound check and, obviously sorting out the stage and everything. And the DJ put on this, Eruption. And we went, what the hell is that? It's the most incredible thing we'd ever heard. So, yes, of course, we loved them and all that sort of stuff. But obviously over here, we were sort of lumped in with the with this new wave of British heavy metal thing that we didn't even know anything about until a few years later, when somebody said, oh yeah, but we went, what? I mean, basically we were just part of bands at that point, sort of youngish bands, just playing rock music. We didn't know at the time that we were in this movement thing, It was, I think it just was sort of made up by journalists, basically, sort of lumped everybody in it, And suddenly there we were, so we went, oh, okay, that sounds all right, Yeah.
When you were touring the States, were you mostly headquartered in Los Angeles because record companies were there, or were you all over?
We were all over, really. Yeah, I mean, the last tour we did in the States, God, that was a killer. That was a good few years back now, the last time we came. We just went all the way across from East Coast to West Coast. So all the way across, a month, just literally, I mean, driving hours and hours a day, we were absolutely knackered by the end, and going in and out of Canada at the same time, which was a nightmare. Because of course, what's great really is you lovely Americans come over here and we go, yeah, come in, yeah, no problem, blah, blah. We try to go over there and it's a bloody nightmare.
Yeah.
It's, they don't make it easy.
Well, the reason I was mentioning Van Halen is because that was very sunny music compared to most of the new wave of British heavy metal bands.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of party vibe that inspired all of that, whereas the new wave of British heavy metal is more about the working class vibe. So was that an influence on you once you got over to the States and you saw, oh, the metal people can be happy?
I never thought of that before, but no, you said it. Yes, there is a difference, isn't there? Yeah, I mean, we just like what we liked, but we've never really thought about anything too much seriously. That's for sure. We've just bumbled our way along.
That's actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's a really refreshing attitude to hear from you, where, the things that you mentioned, like you're not really focused on the dates, you're not really focused on the genres or the labels. You're just focused on, I make the music, we put out the music, you say, I got a tour here, you tour here, and that's it. And that's probably why you're still here.
Yeah. Well, as I said, stupidity and stubbornness, so that's what I say. But obviously we do it because it's fun, as well. And, I mean, basically it's been a lifetime really. So imagine if we tried, not that we would or need to, but if we tried to get a proper job, imagine going into like somewhere and they go, all right, okay, so what have you been doing for the past 45 years? Oh, I've been playing in a rock band, They, bye. That's it. You'd be out the door, wouldn't you? So, yeah.
Yeah, the arts. Well, I've got two quick questions for you, and then I'll let you go. And the first question I have for you is, I look at Girlschool career and we talk about 45 years in terms of the legacy of recording and touring, and you've been covered by prominent artists and you're this influential band. But is there anything that you still hope to accomplish that you haven't yet accomplished?
Well, we're hoping that this new album is going to do, well, basically. So it would be nice to actually get back in the charts again and stuff like that, and actually be, actually have this album do well. So yes, that would be good. That's what we're looking for, really. Yeah. So yeah, we're hoping so.
I get that, and I really appreciate that. Again, it is about the music, and you're pushing the ball forward. And my last question for you before I let you go: what's the last concert that you attended as a fan? Not because you had to get on stage and sing, not because you were going to co-write with the person, but as a fan.
Wow. Now you're asking. Because normally we, the only bands we really see are bands when we're on the road or stuff like that. So as a fan, blimey, that would go back a bit. Do you know, I can't even remember now. Obviously I used to love going to see Motohead, and Saxon, even if we weren't on tour with them. So I suppose the last one would be Motorhead, really. God, that sounds sad, doesn't it? It's like, yeah. Well, I can't think as a fan.
Well, would you see, in mentioning Motorhead, would you go see the Scorpions because Mickey D is there?
Probably not. We love Mickey, but yeah. Well, the trouble is, you see, this is my excuse. I live in the middle of nowhere and I don't drive. So yeah, that's my excuse of not go. Yeah, probably a bit lazy as well.
Hardly lazy if you've stuck with the same band for this many years. But Kim, congratulations on this new record. Really hope to see you live in New York in the near future. And thank you for the many years of great art.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting us as well. Yeah, we hope to be over there soon. It was supposed to be at the end of this year. Whether that comes off or not, I don't know. But yeah, we're hoping so. And yeah, hope to see you. Hope to catch up with you. Paltrocast.